Hello and welcome to Sliders and Wings, a podcast about the TV show Sliders
and the TV show Wings
and all the other forgotten TV shows of the 90s.
I'm Valerie Temple.
And I'm Rachel Cox.
You know, I missed you, Rachel. We had a week off, so.
I know. Bennett texted me today. He said, what happened to the show?
It's gone. It's never coming back.
You didn't love us enough.
We're on permanent hiatus. See, he should have sent us an email and then.
He said that maybe he hadn't listened to the past couple because he didn't know the show. Like, well, that's going to be a sticking point for a lot of this podcast.
That's the whole concept of the show, is that no one knows any of these shows. But people do know Dinosaurs. I mean,
this is on the fringe. This is like,
that's definitely on the fringe, even though it only lasted 4 seasons. So we have a special guest today, Michelle Burlingame.
Hi,
Michelle.
Well, my only housekeeping is telling you guys all the things that I was asked to watch and reporting on how they were. Pride and Prejudice. Saw it. Or was it Sense and Sensibility? I don't remember.
No, it was Sense and Sensibility.
It was the SNS, not the PNP. Okay, you said, and I listened to it recently, you said, they get together. Okay, they do get together. They don't have any sex or kissing or anything.
Oh, no. But it's a sexy movie.
I don't know.
But like when they get together, it's
you don't even see them get together.
It's very.
They talk about a book and then in the next scene they're married.
It's very like Jane Austen, where there's like a hot guy that you grow to like, and then he turns out to be a shithead. And then there's some guy coming from the wings who's just like, I guess he's fine. And they're married by the end. Typical Jane.
This movie is basically my marriage. Chasing after these hot guys, and then there's this older colonel that lives near you and is a friend of the family, and the colonel's just like, I'll take her off your hands.
And he's like, I'll give you a piano. And she's like, cool.
Okay, so I am going to continue my search for Alan Rickman's sex scenes. That's what I'm looking for.
Good luck on that, Rachel.
The other thing is that I asked you,
yes,
please, will you watch Ted Lasso?
I haven't yet.
And you haven't.
It's so good.
No, Michelle, it is not good. It's terrible.
I loved it.
Okay, I will read you jokes from Ted Lasso. I have a list here, and you tell me whether you thought these were funny.
Wow, this is confrontational.
I'm sorry, Michelle. I don't know Michelle.
Starting this out so strong, so harsh.
I didn't anticipate that Michelle would be here and she would be defending it. Greg and I detest this show. And when you Google it, all you see is people saying they like it. So we are very confused. And I really need you to watch it, Val, to settle this. Okay?
All right.
It is earnest from start to finish. The character is supposed to be like a do-gooder. He's not here to win games. He's here to like help young men grow personally or something. But the jokes are full of pop culture references and they all land like duds. That's my impression. So these are the things that he says. When it comes to locker rooms, I like them just like my mother's bathing suits. I only want to see them in one piece.
Okay.
Walton says, do you believe in ghosts? And Ted says, I do, but more importantly, I believe they need to believe in themselves. Done.
What? Okay.
And then he says, you beating yourself up is like Woody Allen playing the clarinet. I do not want to hear it.
You don't think that's funny?
Those are jokes. I mean, I get it.
They're funny because they're not funny. I liked the show because it was so endearing and genuine from the start to finish. He's just a lovable dork that you're supposed to root for the whole time, even though like every single episode shit just keeps getting worse and worse for him.
It doesn't really get worse for him because he never wavers in his commitment to what he's doing or his self-confidence. I mean, there's really no conflict. You know what I mean? Like,
did you finish the show?
Yeah.
There's tons of conflict at the end.
It's all fake.
You missed the last 4 episodes.
No, it's all fake. It's like he is not struggling at all. From the beginning, he's like confident in what he's doing. So like there's no need to root for him. Anyway.
I mean, I really like Jason Sudeikis. So I feel like just from the like commercials and trailers I saw, I feel like I probably would just at least be on his side in the beginning. I don't know. I can't speak to this. So
okay, a thing happened in the show that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. When adult Americans think that universally every adult American in this country cares about the relationship between Beyonce and Jay-Z, or cares about the relationship between Barack Obama and Michelle, or cares about like any other power couple, and is emotionally attached to their success or failure. Like Beyonce's never the butt of the joke, right? She's only mentioned to prove that like you are on the right side of history and that you love her and like we all love her and it's just a given. And if you don't love her, there's something wrong with you.
I know that you have this not hatred of Beyonce, but like hatred of
the conformity of people liking her.
Yes.
This assumption that everyone likes her.
Which is very funny to me. I mean, I don't have
Here's the joke in the show. It was like, he was like, imagine that Jay-Z and Beyonce were getting divorced. And then these two adult men, they both go, oh, that made me so sad for a second. You're adult men. I found it so contrived. It seems fake. I hate things that are fake. And like the whole thing is fake.
I do think that's a little bit of the whole Apple TV Plus thing, though. Like everybody uses an iPhone and it's all very clear that they're all using iPhones. And,
oh, really?
Oh, no.
MacBooks and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much every single Apple TV show with technology in it is that everything is an iPhone unless there's a bad guy and then the bad guy doesn't have an iPhone.
Like he's an Android.
If you pay attention to these originals, like The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell, everybody's got an iPhone. The entire newsroom is using like MacBooks or big giant iMac monitors. Like everything is so very Apple.
Well, they're just a superior product.
What was Beyonce's Black is King? That's Disney Plus. But I'm wondering if before that she had some kind of deal with like Apple TV.
Didn't they have their own streaming service for a while? Jay-Z and Beyonce. What was it called?
Tidal.
Yeah.
That closed.
The tidal wave did not overwhelm anyone.
I downloaded Apple TV app to watch Ted Lasso and got the trial. And luckily for me, I do not know how to put in a payment option. So it just expired. And I don't understand how you put the money in. Like I don't even, anyway.
No, you sound 100 years old.
Because it's attached to my phone.
Yeah.
And my phone tells me every day, you haven't set up payment yet. And every day I say, I'm not going to do that. But the point I'm saying is that what I didn't like about the Apple TV interface is that some of it is content you get for subscribing and some of it is just linking you to other content, which I find so frustrating. Like as if I have Hulu, Netflix, and Prime, and then Apple TV, but then I'm going to watch the stuff from the other three things. I don't know. I guess you could theoretically watch everything in one place, which might be convenient, but okay. Mayor of Easttown.
Have you been watching this, Michelle?
No, but I've been meaning to.
Maybe we can't talk about it then. Maybe at the very end, we can say goodbye to Michelle and just talk for a few minutes.
Rachel, did you start watching Hacks?
No, I didn't yet.
Yeah.
Jean Smart's in both. I got to see that one too.
I know. I love Jean Smart, but I did watch the trailer for Hacks and I was like, oh, this isn't for me at all. I really am against actors who are, okay, I'm a stand-up comedian in this. And like they have to perform stand-up and it never works for me.
You're about fair representation, that only comedians should play comedians.
Well, I just don't think it works when actors have to do stand-up. It just never sounds real. I mean, have you guys ever seen Punchline?
I know what it is, but I don't think I have.
Tom Hanks and Sally Field, and it's about stand-up comedians. It was like a movie in the late 80s. It's horrible. Like Sally Field is an aspiring comedian.
I will jump on this train if it involves trashing the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay. I think that it falls into that. Actors given these lines to deliver as a stand-up comedian, it just never sounds right. And also, you know, the way that they do it, their stand-up comedy ties into what's happening in the episode. And it always seems cheesy to me. I don't know. I don't like it.
This is a funny TV story involving my dad. So I was home for a night last weekend, just without my kids, just visiting my parents. And my dad just watches like a lot of things and doesn't know what they are. And I walked downstairs because I thought I should sit with him for a little bit. And he was watching the Jessica Biel show. It's been like 3 seasons of it. It's The Sinner. It's an anthology show, actually. So she's only in the first season. But I come down and he's watching the show and I was like, oh God, great. He's like 5 episodes deep into this show and I don't want to watch this. And he told me he was watching season 3 and I'm looking at Jessica Biel. And so I like start looking up my phone. What is this show? What's going on? And I see she was only in season 1. And I read and I go, Dad, you're watching season 1. He goes, but that can't be because I started watching it. And then, so something happened and he just started watching season 3 and not knowing it. And then it took him back. Watching like 3 seasons of a show in different orders without any awareness of what he was doing.
That happens a lot to people on Netflix. It'll start you on the newest season and then...
I hate it.
But if you've never seen it before, it would still start you at episode 1, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think
okay.
so. Sometimes when it like pops up and it's like new episodes, it'll just take you right to the new episodes and it like screws people over all the time.
Okay. Well, we are here to talk about Dinosaurs.
Yeah, baby.
Full of the description.
Oh, yeah.
Dinosaurs is an American family sitcom television series that aired on ABC from April 26, 1991 through October 19th, 1994, and reruns are on Disney Channel. The show is about a family of anthropomorphic dinosaurs. It was produced by Jim Henson Television and Walt Disney and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's definitely Henson related.
The last thing he worked on before he died.
Oh, yeah.
What I read was when this came out.
Oh, and he conceived of it, it says.
Yeah, they all thought it was like a ripoff of The Simpsons. And he was like, actually, I thought of this a long time ago, but like they were waiting for sort of the technology to advance enough for them to be able to do what he wanted. What I thought was really funny was like the thing that tipped over the edge was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I said The Simpsons.
No, stylistically, like they thought it was similar, but like the puppetry, like the animatronics and stuff, that was started with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we were able to.
Oh, sorry, no, I thought. Sorry, what I'm reading is until the success of The Simpsons, the idea was considered crazy, and that, but after The Simpsons,
right,
more okay. That's what I know what you're saying.
But just like the animatronics and stuff, they did it for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then they were like, okay, we can do it. We can do it. And I have to say, this show looks so expensive. It just looks...
Yeah, for that time, definitely. One thing that I noticed when I was watching the first episode, especially at the very beginning, is it feels kind of empty, though. Like, it looks really good, but something about the atmosphere of it is very empty. And then I realized it's because there's no laugh track. There are pauses as if, like, this is where the audience would be going, you know, ah, ha, 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 woo, you know, like, there's hardly any score. There's a little bit, but not much. And it just feels like this is a very quiet show.
I agree with you. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't laughing more.
It's also very dark. It's like the coloring of the Dark Crystal. It's so dark.
It is.
Yeah, it does. And like it's a Jim Henson production, so like that kind of figures in, I guess. But like it does feel like they're doing this sitcom for nobody. Like they're almost like performing for nobody, and it feels very weird that there's no laugh track sort of supporting it. You really feel the absence of it,
right?
Which is weird.
Yep. So I just came up with a little nugget of how to describe the show. It's Fraggle Rock meets Roseanne.
Totally.
There you go.
Totally.
And I realized that the plot of the pilot is the same as the plot of the pilot of Evening Shade. Having another baby, but I'm old. What am I going to do?
Dinosaurs is so interesting because it really touched on all of these like issues that you would think for like a show for kids, for a show for families. They're like very heavy issues. In the first episode, I was like, okay, they talk about miscarriages, they talk about suicide, and then they talk about environmentalism. Like in the first step, I was like, whoa! I was also kind of confused though, because I didn't realize that we were in flashbacks.
Oh yeah, that's a tough structure for a pilot.
The first episode. So he's telling,
like, I didn't seem to serve any purpose.
You know, is telling basically the origin of our favorite character, Baby Sinclair.
Like you don't need an origin because this is the origin. It's the first episode.
It's the first episode. We don't need that. But it starts out with Baby wants to hear a story, and so his father Earl is telling him how Baby came to be. I missed that it was a flashback. So you know when the egg shows up, and I was like, they're gonna have another baby. That's too many babies.
I have to say that with the exception of the Muppets and Sesame Street, when it comes to puppets, I'm just like, why? What does this bring to the table? Because the Muppets are expressive, but these dinosaurs are not expressive. I mean, their faces they're rubber I mean, their eyes move a little bit, but they're not as expressive as a Muppet.
Baby's got the eyebrows that are like
Oh,
crazy though. Like,
whoa,
I think
wow.
the mom, not so much. Fran, played by the wonderful Jessica Walter.
I know her
rest
voice
in
is so
peace.
different.
Which
The voice
is-
so
That was crazy for me to learn. The voice of the mom on Dinosaurs is Jessica Walter,
Mhm.
aka Lucille Bluth on Arrested Development. I like that blew my mind. Also, Charlene is voiced by Sally Struthers,
Yep.
which I also did not realize. And like
Baby is Kevin Clash, who is Elmo, and all the fireys from Labyrinth,
and canceled,
and
He's
totally canceled.
Yes.
About the expressiveness, I think the Baby and Earl, I think, have pretty expressive animatronic faces, but the rest of the characters not so much. The mom and Charlene and Robbie are pretty rubber.
How famous do you think that the Baby was when this in the early 90s?
Well, okay.
Insanely.
So we didn't talk about our like personal histories with this show. Dinosaurs was very big with my family, hugely big. This was the show that I think my entire family agreed on. We're like, I had like 3 brothers, and my youngest brother is 8 years younger than me. So he was like a toddler when this show came out, and I was sort of like Charlene's age. Thinking about it now, I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, that's probably why I like connected with this so hard, is that he was the baby and I was like Charlene. My brother had this giant plush baby dinosaur, baby Sinclair, that like you pulled the string and it said all of his catchphrases.
I had that.
You
I
had that too?
same toy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Mark? Was it your brother Mark?
Yes, Mark. Yeah.
We are the same age and we went to school together.
That's right. You went to
Yeah.
the same high school. Yeah. So it was like, not the mama, gotta love me, And it was huge, a huge plush thing.
It looked just like the Muppet from the show. Like
Yeah.
it was a really well-made toy, to be honest. But I had that thing forever and it worked for years.
Yes.
Like
exactly.
it's just a surprisingly well-made toy. And I also had the sound. Well, I wouldn't really call it a soundtrack. It was like a companion album called Big Songs on cassette that I would listen to all of the time and jump up and down on the bed listening to it. And it was just, I loved Dinosaurs when I was a kid.
This reminds me of my uncle got us CD players very early on, like when CD players were like first introduced. He was like, here you go, Merry Christmas, here's a CD player. And I was like 10 and I didn't really have musical like tastes yet. And I remember that the first disc that accompanied this gift of a CD player were National Anthems of the World, Thunderstorms and Raindrops, Relaxation, like CD, and then songs inspired by The Little Mermaid. It wasn't actually The Little Mermaid soundtrack, which I would have liked. It was other songs. And I remember one of the songs was called H2, Oh, What a Feeling. I was like, thank you, Uncle Jim. Thank you.
Well,
I'll treasure these.
I think I watched this show, but I don't know. I watched some of it. I remember there was an episode where Robbie was like gonna date. He wanted to date a girl, but the girls sometimes ate the guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like about going through puberty.
Dinosaurs definitely like exist in that plane where you're like, whoa, was that really an episode of this show? I watched 3 episodes in preparation for this, the first 3. And I definitely remember like vividly the 3rd episode where the grandma is being prepared to be thrown off a cliff into the La Brea tar pits. Everyone in this society, when they turn 72, are murdered. They are thrown to their death because we don't need these old people weighing us down. And that's something that I totally remember as a kid being like, wow, that's an interesting thought. I feel like there was just a lot of ideas that were introduced in Dinosaurs where as a kid, I don't think I was aware of how heavy the ideas were. It's just like a casual joke. And then like years later, you're like, whoa. Like the last episode of Dinosaurs is the end of the world.
Haunting.
Yeah.
Oh, really? The comet hits?
It's
nuclear.
They go
extinct.
Yeah, they go it's nuclear winter.
Oh my God.
Caused by, I think, Earl, right?
I did like, there was one joke that was really funny where Robbie is talking about how he's not doing well in school. And he goes, last year was 60 million and 3. Next year is 60 million and 2. Why is it going down? What are we waiting for? What are we counting down to?
Very good. He's right. I wouldn't get that either.
Yeah, I guess there's also like a really anti-drug episode later on.
Whoa.
I also only watched the first couple of episodes, but I guess it's in one of the later seasons they did an anti-drug thing, and I guess they could get away with it without coming off as too preachy because they weren't humans. Like they were making jokes about it with dinosaur puppets and no one really took it seriously, so they could breach some pretty heavy topics with puppets.
I also remember like very vividly like a puberty episode that involves, I think, Charlene, where she grows her tail. That's supposed to be like kind of the dinosaur version of her getting tits, I guess. It's like overnight, Charlene's a woman. And you're like, I just remember like being so shocked by it. I don't know. On the Wikipedia page, there was just like a list of, it's like, although Dinosaurs is targeted at a family audience, the show touched upon multiple topical issues, which included environmentalism, endangered species, women's rights, sexual harassment, LGBT rights, objectification of women, censorship, civil rights, body image, steroid use, allusions to masturbation, in the form of Robbie doing the solo mating dance, drug abuse, racism in the form of dispute between the two-legged dinosaurs and the four-legged dinosaurs, peer pressure, rights of indigenous people in the form of dinosaurs interacting with gay people, corporate crime, government interference in parenting, and pacifism.
Wow.
I think the show is a lot like, I mean, the fact that the one episode that I remembered from 30 years ago was something kind of daring, or it was really memorable. It was kind of like the X-Files or Picket Fences. I mean, like those are plots that stick with you because when you're a kid, you're like, what? Like that's so
out there.
Yeah, this thing like where the girl was eating the boys. It was so much like that. It stuck with me. So,
well, it like disturbs you. Yeah. And rewatching it now, it's so interesting because the tone is so normal. Like it's so family friendly. I kind of expected it to be a little like punchier and funnier, like The Simpsons, but it really isn't. It's not that subversive to me in the way they're talking to each other and the way the comedy is portrayed, I guess. They just sort of like fit all of this stuff in without you noticing.
I have one nitpick, which is
what?
Every member of the family is a different species.
Yeah.
They're mutts.
I think Earl and Baby are the same.
And then the mom and Charlene kind of look alike, but then Robbie's got like a frill.
I did look it up and it is on the Wikipedia. So Fran is an Allosaurus. Robbie is a Hypsilophodon. I can't say that one.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Charlene is a Protoceratops. And Baby is a Megalosaurus like Earl. And then I believe, so like every episode in this show, it will list out the species. So there's the boss BP Richfield is a Styracosaurus.
Sherman Housley, baby. Which I liked the.
Oh my God, Christopher Maloney does a voice.
I know he plays he plays like a tough guy friend of Robbie who wears like a leather jacket and like biker boots.
Oh yeah,
and Tim Curry also plays a character. I didn't get to that one. I don't even really remember it, but maybe I'll watch more Dinosaurs for some reason. I don't know. I might try to find Tim Curry.
I mean, there are some things that like compel you to like keep going. You're like, oh, I'd like to hear that. I definitely want to rewatch the final episode. That sounds crazy. The last scene is an exterior of their house as snow is falling. They're all about to die. That's grim. That's a grim thing. For a kid's show, that's a cold cup of coffee. Jeez. Punctuated by all of these like kind of like weird grim things is just like the baby being like catchphrase city, hitting Earl over the head and being like, not the mama, not the mama.
Yeah.
Is it knock the mama or not the mama?
Not. Not the mama.
That's so confusing though. I thought he was saying knock.
No.
He's knocking her.
He's whapping the dad in the head with a frying pan because he's not the mama.
He is.
So
baby would prefer the mama. What do you guys think of Robbie? Hot or not?
I need to get to know him a little more.
He kind of like has this like way of walking around. He's like the one character that you see full length, I feel like.
And he's got those high tops on.
And he just kind of has like this like sort of cocky, this like, look at me in my like Letterman jacket. All right, Robbie can get it, I think. I don't know.
How Charlene had like the dangly plastic stuff all over her head and her hair like a 90s teen would.
She was what I wrote down for the most 90s thing, although to me all of her look was very 80s to me. It was like 80s accessories and like 80s
stars and sweaters. Yeah. But I guess it was 91 early. Yeah. So it probably would have been some holdover 80s.
Her portrayal was like very a mall kid.
Her song on the companion album was about the type of boys she likes and hanging out at the mall.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Spot on. You got it.
So I nailed her.
Yeah. Did either of you have the Simpsons album?
Simpsons
Sing the Blues.
Yeah. Yep, I did.
Doing the Bartman. That was the big
I remember that song.
Yeah.
That was on the radio.
But then I know. Well then they I guess they did the whole album around it. I sorry, I had to say something because I didn't hear the Dinosaurs album, so I had to chime in.
People thought that the dinosaurs were ripping off the Simpsons, so it makes sense, but
just because it was a wise-ass family show?
I mean, I don't see how it seems like a ripoff to me, except that it's just like a family that's unusual. A sitcom, but in like a different environment. So it's like in the Simpsons, they're cartoons, and in Dinosaurs, they're dinosaurs.
I can think of two really obvious Mad magazines for this, but they're not very interesting. Dinah Snores.
Okay.
Of course.
I had
it was not the first time we've used snore.
I had Dino Boars.
Similar, and then Dinosaur, SORE.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm pretty sure there was an episode that did a play on words with Dinah Shore.
Okay. Who would that be for? Like the grandpas and the grandma Ethels in the audience?
I'm sure the writers were old. Okay, she appeared in a promo alongside Earl Sinclair in an ABC promo for... Okay, how did I fucking remember this? She was in a promo for Dinosaurs, mistakenly believing her own show is being brought back for a new season.
Is that real?
Yes.
Wednesday, one of TV's most beloved personalities is back. It's the return of Dinosaur.
Cut! Dinosaur! It's Dinosaurs! Dinosaurs!
Oh, this is so embarrassing. Excuse me. Dinosaurs returns Wednesday.
So, am I back or what?
I'm sorry, Dinah. Can I get you a donut or something? Got bean dip.
That's crazy. That's not the audience for the show.
Mm-mm.
No one watching Dinosaurs would give a shit about Dinosaur. Wow.
Bringing in the parents.
There is no accent corner for this.
I mean, they all have like New York accents, kind of.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I only watched the first episode, but I was folding laundry and watching the show, and there's a scene when, and I've got, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old and having a hard time with one of them right now. He is refusing to poop on the potty, and I think I cleaned shit off my hands 7 times today because
Rachel.
he won't go, and then he holds it and like he's just sharting all day. So
God.
But like we're trying to hold out until he goes in the diaper. So my hands are all dry and like they smell like poop. Like if you get poop on your hands and then you wash them, they still smell like poop. I'm just having a hard time. But there's a scene in the forest when Earl like runs away from his familial obligations, and he's talking to this little, it looks like a Fraggle little creature.
Who was supposed to be their dinner.
Yeah. But he basically says, oh, if it weren't for my family, I don't know where I'd be. And he's like, what do you mean? And he says, well, with my family, I'm in charge and I have all this and I mean something. And in the rest of the world, I don't mean anything. And then Earl has the realization that his family is the only place where he has any meaning because he doesn't really have any control over anything else.
Yeah, Rachel, I think you should actually watch the second episode because it's all about a harried housewife, Fran, who's Earl like gives her a night off. So I think that what you'd really relate to it.
Oh, good. I'll watch that. I keep thinking that I could get the kids into watching something like this, but I feel like it's so dark. I don't know if visually dark.
Like low lighting.
They can just tell when something is old, they're like, what is this?
I see, that's the thing to me. I thought this looked timeless. I was kind of struggling with it being in the 90s. I was like, what's the most 90s thing? It doesn't really seem 90s to me. It just kind of seems the issues that they're talking about and the way it looks, it just doesn't seem stuck in one time period to me.
Earl is dressed like John Goodman on Roseanne.
Oh yeah, he is.
So I feel like he's got the looks of John Goodman, but he talks like who's the guy from the Honeymooners, right? Yeah. Ralph Cramden or All in the Family, the dad, like
Carol
crotchety,
Archie Bunker, Archie Bunker,
yeah, just all that archetype.
Speaking of Sally Struthers,
yeah,
I saw Sally Struthers live in a play.
What?
Greg took me for like a birthday. She was in Clue.
You're saying you've seen Herman from Herman's Head in a play and Sally Struthers in a play?
I get around.
Rachel.
This is what happens when you're living on the East Coast, guys.
Wow, you really get around.
Theater.
Yes. She was in Clue, you said?
It was a theatrical production of Clue at this playhouse, and it was like very heavily billed, like Sally Struthers in Clue.
Who did she play? Miss Peacock.
But in order to do Clue as a stage play, they have to rely on a dummy to play different bodies of people. So they're like throwing dummies around the stage. It looks like noise is off. There's stairs, and it's quite complicated.
And Clue is your all-time favorite movie of all time, right?
Yeah.
How did it live up, Rachel? How did Sally Struthers?
It wasn't good. It was a big reason of why Clue is so great is Tim Curry.
So, you're going to have to watch the Tim Curry Dinosaurs episode then. I'm just saying you have to support him.
I'm seeing now like the voice of Tim Curry. Imagine if you melded the voice of Tim Curry and the voice of Alan Rickman together.
Very sexy. Very sexy.
Have you seen The Worst Witch, the movie?
No, I've never seen that. I know about it. I've seen like stills with Feruza Balk, right?
Yes, he plays the sexy warlock, like the only warlock in the whole movie. And he sings this song called Anything Can Happen on Halloween. And it's very sexual.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. And that's part of the reason why I didn't get involved with Harry Potter when it came out, because my first thought was like, this is The Worst Witch, but with a boy.
Yeah.
She sued J.K. Rowling.
No way. Is that true?
Wow.
When I was a kid, I read a series of books. The first one was called So You Want to Be a Wizard. And it was about a kid that wizardry is foisted upon him in a way. And I remember those books being really good. And I also, when Harry Potter came out, I was like, not as good as So You Want to Be a Wizard, I'm always that person. Like, I remember when the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show came out, I was like, it can't be as good as the Luke Perry, Christy Swanson movie. Sorry.
Timeless comment.
Where is Pike? He didn't make it into the TV show. I don't want it,
That's that old Jim Gaffigan joke. Oh, the book was much better than the movie. Oh, you know what I liked about the movie? It only took 2 hours. And then I could go take a nap.
That's the thing about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The movie only takes 2 hours. You're expecting me to watch 7 seasons of a TV show? No, thank you.
Have you really not watched Buffy?
No.
I haven't either.
Yeah,
I thought I was the only person in the world who hadn't watched Buffy.
Michelle,
this sounds like a spin-off podcast, guys.
Michelle, this shocks me actually, because it feels like me taking a pass on that show is somehow controversial, but I'm not interested. I don't know. It doesn't look good. And also,
You don't like fantasy.
Yeah, I don't like fantasy. And
unless Luke Perry's in it, I guess.
That's right. He is. Also,
he was the only male celebrity I had a poster of on my wall.
Whoa. I had an I Heart Luke t-shirt my mom got for me, and I remember being like, oh, this is so embarrassing. Why did you buy this for me? But I wish I still had it. Like, I would wear that shirt. Like, I Heart Luke. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we've gone through it.
Anything else you want to add, Michelle?
No, nothing. I can't think of anything else. I might actually watch the rest of these episodes. Well, maybe not all of them tonight, but I think I might just pop on some Disney Plus and watch some Dinosaurs for no reason as an adult woman.
I mean, why not? I mean, it really does like go down easy. I mean, it's just like very gentle and nice.
I just pop an edible and watch some Muppets. You know?
Yes, it really did look good. I feel like this show could come out now and people would still be like impressed by it.
Do you think there will be a reboot at some point since it just hit its 30-year anniversary? Do you think that it's already in the works?
It is on Disney Plus.
Well, they redid Dark Crystal.
Yeah. And it is on Disney Plus, which I think proves that there is interest. So it's possible. I don't know how well known it is to people who are younger than us. I think it's a very good show.
Well, I discovered yesterday that apparently I'm a geriatric millennial.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
And do you know that the big point of contention between the Zoomers or whatever and us is that they don't like side parts?
Yeah, no, I've heard this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This blew my mind.
Have you heard this, Michelle? You've got a middle part. So.
Yeah, that wasn't my choice. I usually do prefer a side part, but I got my hair cut and I got some curtain bangs, and she was like, you're going to have to part your hair in the middle. And I was like, all right. I got like a 70s shag kind of thing going on. It looks terrible now because I've been sweating all day, but I usually prefer a side part. I have heard some things on the internet that the Gen Z or whatever they are now, they like make fun of high-waisted pants and side parts
and side parts.
Skinny jeans.
I think they like
jeans.
They like the high waist jeans. As long as it's wide and unflattering. A lot of it's intentionally unflattering thing. The middle part is hard to pull off.
And also, I have to say that you can't make a blanket statement about a part. Some people have cowlicks. Me, I have a cowlick. I cannot do a middle part. I have pictures of myself, high school photos, 9th grade, trying to do a middle part. It looks terrible.
Middle parts are for the Amish, hippies, and men with long hair.
Yes, it does not look good.
The best way to say I'm a woman is to do a side part, because there's no man out there with long hair taking a side part and moving his hair over, right? He is putting it wherever it falls when it dries.
And also a side part gives you kind of bangs almost. It like sweeps it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this really rocked me to my core because it
made me angry. And like, I feel like that's what they were trying to do. I was like,
Let's not give them what they want.
They were like trying to troll everyone. It was like, here's something that'll really bother you.
I refuse to download TikTok. You can't make me.
Yeah.
I will not. I
downloaded it to watch one thing I had seen, but I never like signed up. It's weird to use it when you're actually not signed up.
I downloaded TikTok and like I tried to use it for like one weekend, and then I just got overwhelmed. It's just like you open it up and it's just like, like so much audio. And it just gave me a headache. And I was like, I just have to drink some tea and relax. I can't do TikTok. It really made me feel like an old person.
People doing a little dance while pointing at word bubbles is just so stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always like, oh God, there's just so many moms doing it. And the mom's like holding a baby. It's like holding a baby at 3 months, holding a baby at 6 months. Look at the difference. Got it.
Very cool, I guess. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I do not get it.
But there's a comedian, Christina P. Have you heard of her?
Mm-mm.
And she goes on TikTok and then she puts on her Instagram the best of TikTok. And they're pretty funny and bizarre. So I kind of will just go on there. Like a curated TikTok list, but I don't have to go on TikTok.
That is what I want.
Okay, so like, I'll share it with you.
If someone could just like give me the cliff notes, I'll watch it. But I feel like I need a trigger warning when I go on TikTok because it's just so intense. It's like so much audio and like so much happening that I just like immediately get traumatized. So
maybe we're the dinosaurs.
yeah, perfect. Did this show make me think about my own existence, especially since I'm about to turn 40 next month? Yeah, next month I'm about to turn 40. Oh boy.
I turned 40 last year, but it doesn't count. Last year it doesn't count.
You're gonna turn 40 again this
year?
year?
You could be 39 again, Belle.
Okay. All right. I always hated that where it's like, I've been 39 for 7 years, like that kind of a joke. It's so stupid. I don't really care about turning 40, but it's definitely a milestone and it definitely like makes me feel.
Yeah, it makes me feel old because I remember vividly my mother threw a big party for my dad when he turned 40.
Yes.
And she hired like a belly dancer, but it was like 40.
I feel like in the 90s, 40 was a much bigger deal. My mom also threw my dad like a huge 40th birthday party, a huge party. And I remember there being signs that was like, Lordy, Mike is 40. At least in the Ohio area, people love to put 40 pink flamingos onto people's yards. And they're like, that's how you know you're 40, you know?
When my mom was my age, I was 10. And like, I remember my dad's 29th birthday. Ridiculous.
I think I was 12 when my dad turned 40. Like I was a conscious person. That's very weird to me. I don't think anyone I know who's 40 has like a 12-year-old. Maybe there's some.
I know one person, yeah, basically.
But they're a fucking weirdo, right?
Wait, do you want to do 5 minutes of Mayor of Easttown?
We can.
Just five.
We'll say goodbye and then we'll just stay up.
If anybody wants to listen to my now completed podcast called Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason, it's about Futurama. You can go listen to that. We did every single episode of Futurama, episode by episode. So there's that, and that's all I got.
I love Futurama.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Slurmcast, check it out.
Not a forgotten show.
No.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy your Mayor of Easttown talk.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for the spoiler prevention. Goodbye.
Yeah, we're saving you from it. Okay, bye, Michelle.
Bye.
Okay, now is time for our second podcast, Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so the big news is that they, and you wouldn't know what this means, Val, but they pulled a Stark.
What's that mean?
The main character that was his head was cut off at the end.
Is that a Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay. Boo.
They Starked him. They Starked Zabel. Our precious Evan Peters got killed off.
I can't believe it. I was stunned.
Yeah, I was stunned too.
To the point where it was like
Greg kept saying he might be alive. I go, no, he's not. It was a kill shot.
No, that was me. I was like, no, he's still alive. He'll live.
No, they're gonna have Dylan survive 2 shots to the back, but no.
I know. Talk about a fucking center part that does not do anything for anybody.
I have the same haircut as him if I do a center part. The side part is the only thing separating me from Dylan.
His hair is disgusting. Your hair is fine. It fits your face. It's fine. He's disgusting. And we're left with him? No.
Now, when you watch a show like this, are you like, I know that you always make fun of me for trying to figure out who did it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to figure out who did it. I am just waiting, leaning back. It doesn't seem like you could.
They're not telling the story in a way where you would figure it out.
Right. But apparently Kate Winslet said that when you find out who it is, it will be shattering. It will shatter us.
Does that mean she did it?
She was sleepwalking. She took Ambien and...
That's right. It's possible.
They're pointing it at so many people, though. It's just getting a little ridiculous. But
yeah.
Do you want to hear a common fan theory from Reddit?
Oh, sure.
The common theory is that her it's not her uncle, right? It was Erin's dad's cousin who she stayed with, and he was being super shady.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Didn't want to admit that she lived with him for a few months.
He was like, yeah, it was like a day.
Well, before last week, the theory was that him or John Ross had like basically arranged to meet Erin for sex somewhere, not knowing that they were related to her because she wore the wig in the photos. And then when they got there and saw her, to cover the whole thing up, they killed her or something like that.
Oh,
but now it's looking like that dad's cousin is the father of the baby.
Right.
Because Mara's going to do a DNA test on that beer bottle and find out. But I don't know what's going on with Dylan and stealing the journals, or I do hate it when there's like 5 shady things going on and only one was the murder. And then you're going to find out about these 4 other things. You're like, I don't care about this bribery thing.
There's a lot going on, and they still haven't really incorporated Guy Pearce into it that much.
He wasn't even in the last one.
Exactly. So
maybe he's just a total red herring.
Maybe, but like it makes me think there's going to be something weird with him. You know, like what's that guy doing? I don't know.
Or there'll be a surprise. I mean, there's only 2 left.
I know, only 2 left. Rachel, only 2 left. I feel like there's a lot still for us to know.
We are in agreement on Reddit that like all the storylines with Siobhan are like, is there a point to this? Are we just...
That's so true.
I mean, none of her plot lines are related to anything.
Siobhan is so boring. Oh, maybe Siobhan did it. That would be shattering.
Well, that someone did posit that theory on Reddit that because she was with her at but then she had to go with her to the other location. The one theory was that Erin started saying, "Your dad is the father of my baby," and then they got into a fight. But like, I'm not going to shoot her, so I don't know.
I don't know. I am really just like letting it unfold, and I will have thoughts afterwards. You know, like, did that actually make sense and whatever? But so far, I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just in the midst of it and I'll be fine.
Oh, wait, and do we still not know is there still some unknown prowler?
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought the prowler was the neighbor who she covered for and she erased the camera footage of him. That was someone different.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot going on. That whole like side plot about her basketball friend and like her missing daughter and like being scammed by.
Well, yeah, but and now she's found.
Which really made me think of Cleveland. Foley has.
Oh yeah, Ariel Castro.
Yeah. Ariel Castro. Those 3 girls are celebrities in Cleveland. It's very much like Kimmy Schmidt, where
wow, and they go to events and stuff.
One of them released music and it gets played on the news, and now a music video by this kidnapped girl. All 3 of the girls, they're celebrities. Like. One of them got carjacked last week, and that was a news item, you know, like,
oh my God.
And everyone was just like, stop being mean to this girl, you know, like, hasn't she been through enough, you know? But it's just so strange. It's such a sad way to be a celebrity, I guess.
I mean, there was a real dark side to the Kimmy Schmidt.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, Rachel.
This has been Sliders and Wings.
You can email us at slidersandwings@gmail.com. I know you won't, but you can.
You could.
It's an option for you. All right. Good night, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye.